Detective, starring Roscoe Carnes as Rocky King, Chief of Homicide of the Metropolitan Police Force, in an exciting fight against crime. Brought to you by Chlorette, the new chlorophyll candy mints and chewing gum that make your breath kissing sweet, and Ivory Flakes, the mildest, fastest dissolving flakes possible for dishes and for baby clothes. Now, Rocky King Detective and Death Has Dark Hands.
I counted, Julia, just to make sure it's 500.
He's a stubborn old man. Now let's make him do it my way.
Ridiculous thing I ever heard of. You've been with the police department for a long time. Do you mean to tell me you can't tell them what hours you want to work?
That's exactly what I mean, especially this particular time with so many men out with the proof.
Well, I wish I could run the police department for just about a week.
Sure, that's what everybody says. They know exactly what to do. You'd catch everybody, wouldn't you?
Well, at least I certainly wouldn't have you going to work at 12 o'clock at night.
Well, somebody has to do it. Relax, Mabel. I can't let you run the police department. We haven't had a woman commissioner in years. Besides, you got all you can do to run this little precinct right here, and you do a swell job, too. Where's the other member of this happy American household?
Oh, Junior's taking the little girl who lives across the street to the bonfire and football rally.
Yeah.
They play the St. Mary's Midgets again a week from Saturday.
They do? Those two teams seem to play each other every other week. They ought to know each other by now.
Oh, they do, and they have some very exciting games, too. The last one ended with a score of 70-70.
70-70. They only played a little while.
Well, I don't know. I just watched the first half.
So what was the score then?
35-35.
Sounds like a fixed game to me.
Oh, there you go, always thinking of those gamblers. Now keep quiet and listen to the important part.
All right.
Junior's teammates have given him the honor of lighting the bonfire at the rally, and they've decided to do it with matches.
Well, it seems to me that'd be the simplest way. What were they going to use first, the Olympic torch?
No, and don't be so smart. But the scoutmaster up at school thought of the idea of having some of the smaller children, some of the boys, rub two sticks together.
Yeah.
He said it would take them a little while, but they'd finally get it going.
Oh, he's going to do the hard way, huh?
Yes, and if you don't keep quiet, I'm going to get mad in a minute. Don't you want to hear about your son?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, according to Junior, the team was furious. They said that they felt that if they worked their heart out, risked life and limb every Saturday for good old PS 37, they weren't going to have any small boys around while they were doing a man's job.
Oh, well, this is their chance to show off, you know that. So our Junior's a man.
Well, he thinks he is, and he's right at the age now where he knows everything.
Well, you can say that again, Dave. And you know, the funny part about the thing is sometimes he's right. Hello, Inspector King.
This is Lane, sir. I'm sorry to bother you before you come down to the office, but I think this one will be very important.
That's all right, but things will be different when Mrs. King runs the police department.
I didn't understand you, sir.
That's all right. Don't try it. Just one of my bum jokes. What do you want?
Well, Dr. Warren Sloan, the famous chemist, has been found murdered, Inspector.
Dr. Sloan?
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad. You know, he made a speech here to our boys in the lab about a month ago. Where was he killed?
At his home at 1427 Wentworth Avenue, sir. Now, according to the precinct report, he evidently surprised somebody who was rifling a cabinet where he kept some of his most important papers.
Well, how does the precinct know all this?
Mr. Sloan's secretary, a girl named Elaine Merrick, sir. She gave it to the precinct. She's the one who found the body.
Yeah, what's been done on him?
Well, first examination has been made so far, Inspector, and according to the ambulance doctor's report, he was shot twice in the chest and has a bruise on the right side of his head.
Well, he could have gotten a bruise when he fell, I suppose. All right, get out there as fast as you can. Take full squads. Don't let anybody touch anything until I get there.
Oh, where do you have to go, dear?
1427 Wentworth Avenue. Dr. Warren Sloan has been killed.
Did you know him very well?
No, I've just heard him talk, that's all. And they say it's getting late. Junior ought to be home now.
Oh, he is. He's across the street from the little girl's house.
Yeah?
I was watching them from the window. You were talking to Lane on the phone.
What's he doing?
I don't know. First he was standing on one leg, then on the other.
Oh, I see.
Then he went into some kind of a struggle with her. I can't figure out whether it's a new kind of dance or not.
So you don't think he's getting fresh and trying to kiss her, do you?
Oh, no, he doesn't know her that well.
Well, don't forget, our Junior knows everything. I'll honk the horn at him when I go by. You remember how mad you used to get when somebody did that to us? Goodbye, dear. I'll get back as soon as I can.
Now, Miss Merrick, you have no idea whether anything was missing then.
I didn't touch anything. Besides, I don't know what was inside that cabinet. Dr. Sloan was the only one who had the key.
In other words, you had orders not to touch anything?
Yes, I did.
Hello, Lane. Hello, this young lady who found the body?
Yes, sir, Miss Merrick.
How do you do, Miss Merrick?
How do you
I'm
do?
Inspector King, Police Headquarters. Understand you were his secretary.
Yes, I was.
Well, what can you tell us about all this?
Well, I got home about 10:30. I live here, and I noticed the library door was open. I thought it strange, so I looked in.
And you found him dead.
Yes, I did.
How long had you worked for Dr. Sloan?
About 3.5 years.
Did you enjoy working with him?
Oh, yes, very much.
Uh-huh. It's like somebody could have come in this way, Lane.
Yes, sir.
Who else lives here, Miss Merrick?
His assistant, Dr. Longley, a housekeeper, and a cook.
Uh-huh. Did you talk to him, Lane?
I talked to the servants, sir. They didn't see or hear anything. They live out in the back, but Dr. Longley himself isn't home as yet.
Now, let's see. You say you came in about 10:30. Where were you until then?
I was at a movie
Yes, what theater?
at the Arlington.
Did you go alone?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Was Dr. Sloan to have any other appointments this evening?
Oh, yes, he had an appointment with Mr. Luther Cram for 9:30. I don't know if the appointment was kept or not. I left at 8:30.
I see. Where's Mr. Cram live?
He's staying at the Belden Plaza Hotel.
Well, I guess that's all for now, Miss Merrick. You may go to your room if you wish.
Thank you.
I think that young lady knows more than she wants to tell us, Lane. What's in here?
This was a closet, sir, where he kept sort of a personal file with his very important papers.
Any sign of the gun?
No, not yet. I have the boys out searching the house and grounds now, though.
I see who it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
This is a horrible tragedy. Horrible. Miss Merrick just told me about it. When did it happen?
Well, we don't exactly know as yet.
It's all because of those papers he kept in that cabinet. He put much too much importance on them.
Yes, what were the papers about?
Well, I don't know, sir. You see, he had the only key. Although I worked for him for 5 years, he never told me.
Oh, then you're Dr. Longley.
Yes, I thought you
Where
knew.
have you been all evening, Doctor?
Well, at the university laboratory, sir. Just a few minutes from here.
Oh, I see.
You see, I went there right after my dinner. I live here with Dr. Sloan.
Yes, I've been told that. Was anybody with you at the lab?
No, sir, I was alone.
Well, if you're at the lab, you can't tell us very much about this, can you?
No, I can't.
It's all for tonight, Doctor. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
You can count on me for all the help I can give you, gentlemen.
Yeah, I will. Now, let's see what's been said, Lane. The girl went to the theater, the Arlington Theater. That's going to be a little tough to check. Dr. Longley was at the university lab. We can find that out of. Say, what about the ambulance doctor? Did he, give you any ideas time of death?
Oh, well, I didn't talk to him personally, sir. I just read that to you from the report. However, they placed a call about the murder. Came in a little after 10:30.
Well, they seem to put so much importance to this stuff that was in the cabinet here. You have the boys be very careful when they fingerprint it, Lane.
Okay, sir.
Better put a man here tonight, I think. We'll get a line on these people in the morning.
Inspector, what about this Luther Cram over at the Belden Plaza Hotel?
That's right. He had an appointment here, didn't he,
Yes,
for
sir.
9:30. Well, I better put a man on him right now, just to be sure he's around in the morning.
Okay.
The line, Lane. I'll send the squad there.
Good night, sir.
What do you want? Why out here?
All these police around here. It's the only safe place I can talk to you.
I have nothing to say to you.
It's what you have to say to the police that interests me. Just remember one thing. I can talk, too.
You with Dr. Sloan last evening? It was for 9:30. We had our little talk, and I left at 10. Why all these questions, Inspector?
Well, they're very important because Dr. Sloan was murdered last night.
Murdered? But that's impossible.
No. Exactly what happened. What was your business with him?
Well, I was trying to get him to accept the post of chemistry professor at Chase College. Dr. Sloan had a worldwide reputation. But he refused by saying he wanted to continue with some research he was working on.
Any idea what that research was?
No, I'm sorry. I have no idea.
How long had you known Dr. Sloan?
I never met him before.
Yeah, where's Chase College?
In Illinois.
Is that where you live?
Yes, in Chicago.
All right, I'm going to ask you to stay here for a few days till I find out a little more about this.
Does that mean that I'm under suspicion?
Yes, Mr. Graham. As a matter of fact, right now, the only one who isn't under suspicion is Dr. Sloan. He's dead.
I think I got things going a pretty good start for us.
Fine, Lane. Wait just a minute before you tell me to get this off my mind. I just talked to this fellow Cram. I want to do something right now. Laddie?
Yes, sir.
Look, here's an educational problem for you. Find out where Chase College is in Illinois.
Well, what part?
I don't know. I never went there. Just found out for me, that's all. All right, Lane, what is it?
Well, here it is, Inspector. Now, Elaine Merrick's been with Dr. Sloan for 3.5 years, like she said. But what she didn't say was Dr. Sloan, who has no family, practically adopted her. He's made her his sole beneficiary, and his estate comes to near $30,000.
$30,000. That's very interesting. What about Longley?
Oh, the night watchman at the plant said absolutely nobody worked at the lab last night.
Oh, so he's lying, huh?
Right.
Don't think the girl went to the theater either.
You think Longley would have a motive?
He certainly could have. He's been working with Dr. Sloan for 5 years, and although he said he didn't know anything about those private papers in the cabinet, that may be what he wants. Maybe that's what he was after. Yes, Laddie?
I checked all the accredited colleges in that area with the North Central Association. No record of a Chase College in Illinois.
All right, thanks very much. Well, what do you know about that? Yeah. Mr. Cram's having a few pipe dreams.
Still, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, of course, now I haven't had time to tell you. What the lad say about those papers?
Oh, Brian looked them over, sir, and so far as he's concerned, they have to do with explosives, some very potent stuff. But from the information he's got, that's all he can say.
Yeah? Sounds like something somebody would pay a lot of money for, huh?
Sure does.
All right, I'm going over to talk to Longley, then I'll see Cram. You stick right here. I'll phone you if I need you.
Okay, sir.
You were very stupid to come here. I don't want to get mixed up in this mess.
But you are mixed up in it.
I don't think so. And if I were you, I'd keep that suggestion of threat out of my voice.
You can't scare me.
No, I bribe people like you. And you are cheap. $500. I wonder what the police would say if they knew the trusted Miss Merrick took bribes. You know we had to trick Dr. Sloan into seeing me, but I know nothing about his death. And I warn you, I'll do anything to keep clear of this.
Oh, Inspector, the officer said you wanted to see me.
Yes, Doctor. Sit down.
Thank you.
We'll see if we can't talk just a little sense. Where were you last night?
Well, I told you I was...
Yes, I know. You were at the university lab, weren't you? But the night watchman says nobody was there. Why the lie?
Well, I was afraid I'd be suspected.
Why? Because I might think that you're getting a little tired of playing second fiddle in all these experiments?
No, that's not true. I liked working for Dr. Sloan. I admired him greatly.
Well, where did you go?
I went into the park for a walk. I wanted to be alone to think.
You ever hear anything about Dr. Sloan working with explosives?
No. Well, yes, come to think of it. At one time, he was working on nitrocellulose, but that was... Inspector, I had nothing to gain from Dr. Sloan's death.
Well, who do you think would have?
Well, I suggest you speak to Miss Merrick. Also, look at the doctor's, will.
Well, we have already. How does it happen? You know so much about it.
Well, you see, Miss Merrick told me that you left everything to her.
And you're implying that she couldn't wait, huh?
Well, no,
Come in. Oh, how do you do, Miss Merrick? We were just speaking about you. That's all, Dr. Longley.
Thank you.
What did you want to see me about, Inspector?
Little matter of $30,000.
Did Longley tell you about that?
Yes, among other things. How's it feel to be $30,000 richer? You better start explaining, Miss Merrick.
All right, I'll start with Mr. Cram. You see, Dr. Sloan refused to see anyone ever, and I set up appointments with Mr. Cram, and he paid me $500.
When did you set the appointment for last night?
Yes, but I didn't know it would lead to murder.
And you think Mr. Cram did it?
Those papers that were in that cabinet must have been very valuable. Don't forget, Cram gave me $500 just to get inside this house.
That's right, he did. Is it possible that you could have arranged this robbery after he was killed to throw suspicion off you?
I tell you, I didn't kill him.
I know, nobody did, but he's very dead. Think it over, Miss Merrick.
What did you tell him?
Nothing about you he doesn't already know. We've got to prove that Cram did it. Right now, everything points to him.
I wonder if the inspector feels that way about it, too.
When it comes to kissing, two heads are better than one. It's still better when both have kissing sweet breath. That's one big reason why you should have kissing sweet breath. And here's a delicious way to make your breath fresh and wholesome. Enjoy the new Florette's Candy Mints or 2 delicious Florette's chewing gum. You see, Florettes are rich in active chlorophyll. That's true water-soluble chlorophyll, not an imitation, not synthetic. In Florettes, you get the astounding benefits of chlorophyll put into a most effective, quick-acting form. Delicious Florettes, either the new candy mints or flavorsome chewing gum. Make your breath kissing sweet in seconds, even after eating onions, heavy smoking, or a telltale beverage. And you'll love the flavor of Florettes, so minty, so refreshing, so all-out enjoyable. No wonder more people buy Florettes than any other product made for the same purpose. Make your breath kissing sweet with Florette's Candy Mints or Florette's Chewing Gum. Only 15 cents everywhere.
All right, Inspector, there is no Chase College. And I did give Miss Merrick a gratuity in order to see Dr. Sloan. I admit that freely.
Sure. As we found it out ourselves, what do you want to see him about that was worth $500?
I'm afraid that's a personal matter.
Mr. Cram, nothing's personal with me when murder's concerned.
All right. But it had nothing to do with his death. I had my interview and I left at 10 o'clock.
What's this fairy tale about Chase College?
Well, I didn't want anyone to know I was here. I had a syndicate buying up water power, and his explosive ratio theory would have saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars.
All right. Leave it right like that. Ask you to stay close to your room a few days while I go to college. Yeah, but look, O'Brien, now, you say if you worked on something like this, you think they'd go through it? You think it might work?
Well, yes, sir. I got all the information out of the book here. Now, it's a fact that thieves have been caught by treating papers and clothing with this anthracene powder, which sticks on their hands, and it's very hard to get off, you see. Now, the anthracene powder is very fluorescent. It'll glow in the dark if treated by ultraviolet light.
All right. I'll try anything. I'm right at that stage. Get your equipment out there. Also pick up a suit of clothes.
What's the address?
1427 Wentworth Avenue. Get out there as fast as you can. Hello, Inspector King.
Lane, sir, I heard you were in the lab, so I'll transfer this call over to you.
Yeah, who is it?
Mrs. King.
All right, before you do that, have somebody pick up Cram at his hotel and take him out to Sloan's place.
Yes, sir, I got a call from there a while ago. The married girl went to visit him there this morning.
This morning?
Yeah.
She did, huh? Oh, I see. All right, put on the other call. Hello.
Hello, yourself and get off the wire. I'm waiting for my husband.
Well, that's who you're talking to right now.
Oh, it is? Well, what do you know? Sounded like some horrible creature growling.
That's the way I feel right now, Mabel. Now, what do you want? I'm very busy.
Well, I just
wanted to clear up your mind about what Junior was doing on the girls' front porch last night.
Yeah. You mean when they were struggling?
Yes, it wasn't anything at all.
No?
He was just showing her how he's going to run interference in the football game. They're not allowed to use their hands, you know.
Well, he was bumping, all over the front porch, huh?
Yes, but I guess she liked it. She invited him back tonight for another lesson.
Yeah.
Lou, dear, get home early. We're having fish for dinner.
That's just about the silliest conversation I ever had.
Any closer, Inspector?
I don't know, Lane. Any one of the three could have done it, and they all had a good reason. What about any report of that murder weapon?
Not a thing, sir.
All right, let's get out there, Lane. They should be there by now. I'm going to try a little something, and I hope it works. Come on, I'll explain it to you on the way.
Why have I been brought here, Inspector?
I'll let you know in just a minute. Oh, thanks very much. Now, I want you people to be a little cooperative. I want you to take a look at this suit here, you gentlemen, and see if you've ever seen it before.
No, I never saw it before. Well, neither have
You're
I.
quite sure?
Yes.
How about you, Miss...
No.
All right, thank you very much. Here you are, Gordon. Take care of this. I guess that takes care of Jack Walton. He's entirely free.
Well, did you have another suspect?
Yes, you're a little surprised I mentioned the name Jack Walton, aren't you? Well, so am I, but it just shows you how thoroughly we go into these things. Now, the police are convinced that he was killed for the private papers he had in the cabinet here, the ones he was afraid someone was going to steal.
I don't know anything about any private papers, Inspector.
Mr. Graham, Dr. Sloan made sure that you and the others would have a chance to prove it.
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't exactly trust you. Now, I took some of the papers to our lab. The usual routine is that they expose them to an ultraviolet ray light. They found out that Dr. Sloan's paper had, what's the name of that thing?
I think the lab said anthracene.
Anthracene powder, which is very, very powerful. Now, whoever handled the papers, it was shown on their hands under an ultraviolet ray light. Bring in the light, Lane.
Oh, but that was last night. The murderer would have washed his hands by now.
Well, naturally, of course, but it's very difficult to come off. It seems to sink right into the pores. Mr. Long, will you close those windows, please? Be ready to hit the light, will you?
This is ridiculous. What are you playing, cops and robbers?
Let's say we're playing cops and murderers, huh? Now, if you'll just sit over here and yourself, all of you, I won't take too much of your time. I'll get through this very fast. All set, Lane?
Yes, sir.
All right, put out the lights. As is the custom, the ladies will be first. So it's you, Miss Mary. Just put out your hands under that light, please.
Okay, sir?
Yeah. Oh, nothing. Thank you very much. Miss Graham? Under there, please.
But I didn't kill him, I tell you.
No, I don't think you did. Neither did Miss Mary. I haven't had a chance to look at your hands yet. You don't seem to want to show them.
I like playing games, Inspector.
Why? Because you thought those papers did have anthracene powder on them? Well, they didn't. But there was plenty on that suit of clothes that you handled. That's why your hands sparkled. I was sure that the innocent people wouldn't mind showing their hands, but you don't want to see to do that.
What do you mean?
Just this, that you killed Dr. Sloan.
Yes, that's right.
All right, now. Why don't you tell us why?
I'm sick and tired of doing all the work and have him take all the credit. 5 years I took a back seat for him. I wanted to make something of myself. Didn't show anybody.
All right. Guess that does it. Take him in, Lane.
Okay, sir. Come on, Long.
Gordon, wasn't that man searched before he came in here?
I thought he was. They must have missed him outside.
Well, those policemen won't be with us very long. You know that. Good night, Gordon. Fran, you can go back to Chase College. That is, if you can find it. I mean, in a few days. Right now, you're both going down to headquarters with me. I'm interested in a little matter about a $500 bribe. Let's get going.
Florette's Candy Mints.
Hello, Mabel. Yes, case closed. I'm coming home. What, dear? Yes, we got him. Some details to be cleaned up. Somebody else may be involved. I don't know. For what? We're going to have company for dinner. Who? Little girl across the street. Oh, Junior invite. Well, look, there can't be any football practice in our house. You know, we only got a couple of pieces of furniture left. Yes, dear, I'll be right there. Wonderful girl, that Mabel.
Original music composed and played by Jack Ward. Tune in again next week for another exciting adventure of Rocky King Detective, starring Roscoe Carnes as Rocky King. Rocky King Detective is brought to you by Clorettes, the new chlorophyll candy mints and chewing gum that make your breath kissing sweet, and Ivory Flakes, the mild, fast-dissolving flakes for dishes and for lingerie. Bob Shepard speaking.
This is the Dumont Television Network.